Buy a wing, get the plane for free.
Yes. We do up to 120 flight hours a month on each aircraft.
I would recommend order now if you would like to see the Olympics in Paris, yes. The airplane does fit the profile of Europe and the travel patterns in the area.
Disease, so I started buy and
We'll sell you the wing for $6 million and you can have the rest of the airplane for free.
Let me introduce the head of sales of Honda Corporation in the United States, Peter. He came to Friedrichshafen AERO for the show to present this beautiful Elite S aircraft. We want to hear from, let's say, from the first person from United States about HondaJet Corporation and its plans, especially about your European plans.
Yeah, good. Well, it's good to be here, obviously. This is my first Aero exhibition, actually.
Indeed.
Been to Europe many times and eat-base for many, many years, but the first time I've experienced Aero. It's been a good show so far, as you can see. Maybe not, but there's many, many people here, very interested, and people are excited to be out and see airplanes again, and we're glad to be a part of that. As you may or may not know, the HondaJet was certified in 2015 and then in Europe in 2016. And since then we've been slowly growing the European HondaJet base. And thanks to Vitaly here for being the largest operator in Europe of HondaJets.
Thank you.
And look forward to obviously many more years and many more HondaJets in Europe. But it seems to be a good product for the marketplace. I think your customers appreciate the airplane and many of the attributes it has, and we're always looking to improve that and get better and better as we go.
Yeah, indeed, our clients love this beautiful design, colors. Each time it's absolutely different colors, different interior, and it's I should say that it's rather reasonably budgeted, so it's not something enormous for these lovely birds. Indeed, we want to promote HondaJet in Europe. If Europe is important for you, what about your plans, HondaJet plans about development in Europe? How you see that?
Yeah, well, I think the airplane does fit the profile of Europe and the travel patterns in the area. I think the key is to continue to build out the service network, continue to promote the airplane to Europe, and also I think to really make sure people are aware of some of the, not only the comforts of the airplane, but the efficiencies as we look at perhaps higher gas prices in the future and certainly more greenhouse concerns. This airplane in its category, and even obviously compared to larger category aircraft, is incredibly more efficient, therefore burning less greenhouse gases and being a somewhat greener way to travel, quickly, efficiently, point to point. So with all that, we see a very positive opportunity in Europe in the next decade and beyond.
Unfortunately, maybe our clients don't know yet, but unfortunately, you're so successful in the United States. Unfortunately for us, you're so successful in the United States. So there are no any new aircrafts available in the market for the moment. When is the really first possible delivery, and what is the waiting time now, and how you expect it would change? Because not everybody would want to buy today. Maybe somebody would make a decision 3 months, 6 months. So tell us how it works now.
Yeah, I mean, with the surge in demand coming out of COVID, we do have a fairly healthy backlog, which extends, roughly 2 years in most cases. We do have a couple airplanes coming to Europe later this year. We're excited about that, being, back in building the marketplace up. But supply is short. Production is somewhat limited at the moment, but we've got some exciting things coming. Be tuned in later this year as we start to provide some other updates. But we've got great plans and hope to see production.
What is the waiting time for the aircraft?
Approximately 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
we decide to buy further aircraft, so it would be only around Olympic Games. So I mean, it could be a good project, to buy your Olympic Games aircraft to go to Olympic Games in Paris.
There you go.
So probably that's a good solution.
Could be, yeah. Yeah.
By the way, my son is planning to participate in Olympic Games in Paris, so he's a swimmer.
Really?
Yes, and he's #1 in the world now, and we have, so he would be 18, and it's the best possible age for the Olympic Games.
Lines up perfect, right?
Yes, so I mean, everybody dreams about this type of a career, so...
Right.
Fortunately for him, he has his HondaJet to bring him to
Paris.
To Paris, yes.
Yeah. Will he swim for France?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes,
Very good.
Yes. Do you agree with me that it's a good idea to order now to fly to Olympic Games on your HondaJet?
I would recommend order now if you would like to see the Olympics in Paris. Yes. Would be a good idea.
And what about maintenance? I heard that you opened the second maintenance center in Europe. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Signature in Bournemouth, the UK, is coming online.
Nearby London, just to explain.
Yeah, southern UK is coming online to support our already existing service center in Germany, and
where we repair our aircraft, which we are quite happy.
Sure, yeah, but hopefully this gives another option, more mobile service units between the two service centers to cover the fleet in Europe. So yeah, we're excited about that, and there's a lot of other things in the works as well to continue to expand that envelope to keep up with the market as it grows.
Most of our clients, especially in Monaco, are really exhausted by the new model you presented recently. And it would be new generation of Honda, and it would be a new type and model in your collection. Tell us a few words about this model. What is the intention?
So we unveiled the 2600 concept at NBAA in 2021, and really wanted to show the marketplace what we're working on. We've been getting a lot of questions. What's next? Is it going to be a little bit bigger? What is the next airplane? And we're very excited to see the reaction to the 2600. It's a significantly larger airplane. The range is approximately 2,600 nautical miles, which is a little over 4,000 kilometers. And that's the reason for the name at this point. We may change the name as we get closer. But right now it's under a detailed design finalization. We expect it, maybe in the next 4 years or so. We haven't really announced a final timeline, but the market's been very excited. The key attributes I think people will find is that's a very useful category of aircraft in terms of range, capacity. But what I think the HondaJet offers is a superior efficiency. So it will be much like the current HondaJet Elite S we have behind us. Very efficient, very quiet, with an added range boost that'll be quite significant for a lot of routes, not so much inside of Europe, but connecting Europe to other parts of the world. So we're excited about it. It's got a lot of things people love about the HondaJet, but also a lot of new elements as well to make it, that next class.
Then the first aircraft, considering EASA accreditation, licensing, how do you call it, when the first aircraft theoretically is planned to be delivered to Europe?
Well, we'll likely undertake a joint EASA FAA certification program like we've done in the past.
Yes.
So we would expect the EASA certification to come after, but not long after, FAA certification.
But approximately which year we're thinking about?
Well, we haven't announced an exact date yet, so I wouldn't want to comment on the real certification.
But still 4 or 5 years to wait, yes?
I think that's
and when the first orders to be done?
Well, currently we're assessing the interest level now with some commitments.
I read in the media that at the day of the presentation you signed something like 100 letters of intent or something like that, yes?
Yeah, I would categorize them as letters of interest,
yes,
but a formal recognition that they are wanting more information when it becomes available, and we will certainly provide them quick updates so that we can secure orders as soon as we're able to do that.
So it's not possible yet to order?
No, not a firm order.
And I understand that totally in the world now, approximately 220 aircrafts like these.
Correct. Yeah.
Are you planning to increase your yearly production, or what is the plan of the classical model?
Yeah, I think the demand is certainly there now.
I mean, I'm only considering from the point of view buying to Europe, as you don't have aircrafts available.
Yeah, no, I understand. The demand is there now for more production. We also are facing some supply chain concerns, I would say, for if we were to ramp up, could the supply chain provide everything we need for the clients and for ourselves? So that managing that, and also looking at the future demand as well, with all sorts of factors involved and new airplanes coming into production. So all that has to be considered, but we are closely evaluating what is possible with the HondaJet.
The new aircraft would it be produced on the same facility, so it's a new factory? I mean, the production of new one, would it somehow delay the production of the old previous model or not?
Not really. The production facility we have is designed for more scale. We have increased our facilities already in certain ways, and we will build it also in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And do you have an idea of how many aircrafts you plan to produce? I mean, new aircrafts per year?
No, we don't haven't released our production plans yet. And I think that'll be a key component to being able to take a firm order, to know exactly how many per year this plan allows for, and then we'll be able to provide better dates.
And what do you think in United States? I always ask this question to different dealers and brokers. What do you think in the United States, if you are interested in the markets like, for example, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, what do you think about this market? If they are of any interest for you, or it's still probably third world of the countries?
Well, I mean, yeah, when you invest in certification efforts and production efforts, you have to look at the whole pie, the whole globe, right? And if the U.S. is, say, roughly 70% of the light jet market, you know, that's where you start your focus. And as you have capacity to take on other opportunities in other parts of the world, that's what you do. Specifically to, I'd say, less populated business jet regions based on jet population alone, you know, we want to look at what is the true potential and demand. Is it actual or is it estimated? We want to also have good service in the region before we were to expand in areas that are further from our current service centers. And is the certification possible, and relatively to the total cost, is it worthwhile for us and for the customer to pursue? And if all those line up and it's available, then absolutely. We look at all different regions of the world.
And what do you think? I assume from the technical perspective, from technical details of these aircraft, especially of the presented at the show Elite S model, probably market of Republic of Kazakhstan is the ideal for this type of aircraft, considering that there are no any VLG in the market.
Right.
So what do you think? Do you agree with me that that could be a good type of the national fleet for local flights?
Yeah, I think the geography and the range is certainly suitable. I think that would be a market that doesn't exist currently, that would need to be developed and a client base to be formed. But certainly the capabilities of the airplane in the region could bring a new travel alternative to much of the marketplace.
And just give us an idea because we have a lot of inquiries from the people from Kazakhstan and investors in that fast developing republic. How many aircrafts potential investor have to buy? I mean, to be able, with your support, to develop the maintenance and spare parts. What is the minimum entrance number of aircrafts interested for HondaJet US?
Yeah, it just depends on who the service provider is to maintain, the maintenance provider to maintain the airplane.
I mean, probably it's you who has to know, who has to suggest. I mean,
right, but offhand, I can't tell you who the best options are. But what we would do in a new territory is review the service providers, understand what their capabilities are and needs are, and then from there you can estimate how many airplanes would it take to help them be successful and help the customers be successful. And it could be 3, it could be 5, could be 10. I don't know the exact number.
So theoretically speaking, starting from 3 aircrafts acquisition, it could be considered for HondaJet United States as an interesting new project for development, yes?
Potentially. Again, it just depends on...
But can I ask you anyway to ask your colleagues to start at least investigating this market? Because, I mean, we do have inquiries, and I think it's really probably that would be the next market for sure for your development. Because as you see, war in Russia, I mean, problems with airports in Ukraine after the war, which would exist for several years for sure.
Yeah.
The smaller countries like Georgia, Azerbaijan, or Armenia probably they don't really need the fleets at the initial stage. But the countries like Kazakhstan and maybe Uzbekistan would be really new point to connect your maintenance base in Dubai and Europe. So I mean, it's somewhere exactly in the middle.
Right.
That's really interesting for the clients to keep and have your support as a producer.
Yeah, and that's key. Is we don't want to go into a region with an airplane knowingly and not have service. It's service first, as I mentioned, then aircraft.
And also the standard question, I want to hear it from your side. Everybody have either a bicycle or car or engine for the boat, Honda. What is the real connection between HondaJet and the logo Honda, which everybody knows from the childhood?
Sure. Well, Honda, the jet, not only the aircraft, but also the jet engine, both originated out of Honda Global, Honda Motor Company Limited, as essentially research projects. And like a lot of research projects, Honda is always striving to look at new ways of mobility. Some people think of Honda as an engine company, but really it's a mobility company. So starting with an early motorized bicycle, moving into today's aircraft division, it's all about bettering people's lives by being able to help them transport and move places from place to place.
So in fact, you have production in the United States of aircrafts, but your shareholder and mother company, it's a Japanese Honda, which we know.
Right.
And for the new aircraft, it would be also Honda engine?
No, we haven't determined exactly what the engine specification
probably
is going
it's
to be.
too early, yes?
Yeah.
But theoretically, you are working on new development of the engines for the HondaJet.
Yeah, certainly they have some power plant ideas for the new airplane, or they wouldn't have all the information we have today.
And research and design made in US or in Japan?
For the aircraft?
Yes.
Greensboro is the headquarters for the aircraft division.
You have everything, research and development and production?
We do, yes. Yep.
And this factory been built from scrap? It's the
Correct.
factory, so Japanese company have not bought any previous players like all other big guys done and just renamed and changed the color? And
No, the entire facility is new. It started with the first building in 2009. The company was formed in 2006, and since then we've added buildings and completed our campus, which was a clean sheet design, much like the airplane.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. So in Russia, Ukraine, in Russian language and Russian mentality, sometimes when people speaking about very expensive things like luxury things, they always they can tell it like, or compare it like it's so expensive as the aircraft wing. Tell us, as a professional, as a specialist, how much in fact aircraft wing costs?
Well, I don't know exactly how much the wing costs, but I can say, as maybe we sometimes say in America, is we'll sell you the wing for $6 million and you can have the rest of the airplane for free.
Okay, it's like a special offer.
There you go.
Can you offer it to our clients, our customers?
Sure.
So it's a special offer from Honda US today for you at the air show in Friedrichshafen.
Buy a wing, get the plane for free.
Yes. And is it important for you that the new company appears like us who are building a charter fleet of Honda? What is your position? Do you support only private buyers, or you are interested in the commercial operators?
No, I think the commercial operators are very important because, first of all, you utilize the aircraft as much or more than anyone. So you're generating exposure, showing more people the airplane. And I think as Honda wants to be a very global mobility company, the more people we can experience in the airplane, the better. And so, of course, we want to see your business succeed. And I know you have.
Do you like our business?
Absolutely. It's in great business. You're in a very, very important marketplace and quite successful, I understand so far.
Thank you.
So, can I ask you a question or two? Since you started, how has your fleet grown and flight hours per year? Can you explain to me kind of what you've been able to accomplish?
Yeah, it's a really good question because I was not planning to buy aircrafts. We are charter brokers and we've been quite successful in this business, flying worldwide and having all the major international companies as our counterparties. And suddenly I made a visit to your dealer in Germany, and it was just like a tourist trip. I've been offered, why not to come and just see.
Yeah.
I seen HondaJet before in Le Bourget show, but I was not really taking that seriously. And especially when at shows you have so many different producers, so many different aircrafts,
right.
And if you are not specialist in these, you cannot really understand. And my background, I am doctor in finance and insurance, so I'm absolutely not an aviation person. I've been so much disappointed that they haven't had a beer in there, and so without beer, I've just tried to find some positive moments, and we made the visit accidentally to HondaJet, which was on sale, and it was the lowest COVID time, so it was not really a question to buy. It was a question that people could not travel even to check and see and discuss and meet. So, and I came in love of this aircraft so much. So the first time you come inside, you make, and they made a test trip for me, just a few minutes flight around, and I've been so much impressed that it's absolutely silent aircraft, design interior, design exterior, the quality of it. Because in some marques of aircrafts, you come and you feel, okay, this is a low budget model of the producer which produce luxury aircraft. So as long as I'm not in low budget business, so I decided I have to have a luxury stuff like this. I came in love. I signed almost immediately the letter of intent. And then I thought, okay, it's nice as a broker having one aircraft. And suddenly it became like a disease. So I started buy, and now hopefully you would be able to devote some of your production to our fleet, which we want to grow both ways, as our own investments of the company, even three ways. We want to develop it as our own fleet. We want our clients, partners to buy aircrafts and we would use them.
Yep.
And the third, that we would operate aircrafts just in private interests of the individual. So I mean, we do have all the facilities to train the crew, to organize the management. We have, thanks to your support, we have a good contacts with the maintenance centers, dealers, spare parts suppliers, and so on. So in HondaJet we trust.
Yeah. In Europe specifically, what are your busiest routes for your clients with the HondaJet?
As a French company, we try to concentrate on Nice, where we are based. We believe that HondaJet is ideal aircraft for any destination in Europe. Any base airport could be used, but as long as we are only just growing our fleet, so our aircrafts are based in Cannes and the second base in Strasbourg, which is on just nearby where we're sitting now on the border with Germany. And we definitely, from the economical point of view, our target is to give low-priced flights on luxury jet, and we have to compete with the lower value models of other producers. Right. And that's why we need to make it as efficient as possible. So we fly from Nice to German cities, we fly from Nice to UK, and definitely we fly locally in France, as we are French. We want to expand further to make more flights to Greece and Turkey, but unfortunately for the moment that's not that frequent destination. In COVID times we've been flying a lot to Russia and Ukraine. Again, due to the war it's not possible. We fly to Tel Aviv, which is also unusual for this type of aircrafts. And we do up to 120 flight hours a month on each aircraft.
Whoa.
Which is really not standard. Tell me, what is the standard flight hours from the producer's perspective?
Oh, I think the average over the whole fleet, with commercial operators such as yourselves flying 100 plus hours a month, that's the high end. The overall average would be about 200 hours per year.
Per year.
Total.
So it's 20 hours.
20 hours a month would be more typical, for sure. But the commercial operators...
But do you agree that the more you fly, the more efficient use of your investments?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
So, in fact, I should say that HondaJet is so reliable, so that we had tests last summer where we were trying to increase the efficiency by changing the crew. So due to the limitation of the crew duties and so intensive flight schedule, we were changing, for example, in Lyon, where we also have a base in Lyon-Bron Airport. So, Lyon is the #1 business-wise airport in France, city in France, and We got a very good experience, so we changed the crew, and the aircraft was working like 24 hours a day, which is doubling our efficiency and doubling the result of the operation. And I should say that technically we haven't had any problems. So the only problem we had that we were growing too fast, that we haven't had any sufficient crew.
Right.
We are now educating more and more to be able this season to repeat this situation.
Good.
While preparing also to buy new aircrafts as soon as you are ready to sell it to us.
Right. Yes. Very good. Do you have any stories or examples of customers that were maybe not sure what the HondaJet was and then did a trip and then maybe were surprised pleasantly by it?
Really, what I should say that unfortunately not really that much aircrafts in Europe in the charter market.
Right.
So in fact we are probably the only operator in commercially. And people who use charter jets, they normally don't know what does it mean HondaJet. Of course, people seen pictures, heard something, but you have to be inside, you have to fly, you have to hear the engines, or not to hear engines, in fact, in Honda. So what I should say that most of our passengers who flew once always choose Honda because they don't want to continue their experience with other aircraft, because they believe that for almost the same money they get much higher value and much higher, let's say, level of prestige. I hope this is not Honda flying. It's really, you see on top?
Yeah.
It's really funny. No, but I think Honda probably would be more intelligent. So clients who flew once, they want to continue with HondaJet, and that's really promising for us. And we only want you to be able to supply us more aircraft, because we can, for the moment, provide this service only out of really luxury aircraft from luxury destination.
Yeah, well, good.
And Peter, it was really surprise and pleasure to see you here, as we scheduled our meeting in Canada shortly, but now it's really nice to meet you here, and thank you for your time. I understood that you've been extremely busy, because here you present Elite S, and people really want to hear your opinion and to be introduced by yourself. And
that's good. Good to see you again,
and hope that we would be able to continue our business together, and hope to see you in our offices and airports in France and in Nice especially. So, and we wish you, I know that your schedule is really tough and you're traveling to US tomorrow, and we wish you a safe flight back.
Thank you.
And it's really a pleasure to work with Honda and with Peter.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you again.
Thank you for your support.
Soon.
Thank you.